Welcome to the Private Lenders Podcast with your host from Hard Money Bankers, Jason Balin and Chris Haddon. This podcast is sponsored by hardmoneymastermind.com.
Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the show. We appreciate it. We have an announcement today. Submit for Funding has gone live this week inside Hard Money Mastermind. You can check it out anytime, hardmoneymastermind.com. Look in the left column and you can submit a deal, whether we're going to break down exactly how it all works in the different deal types and where it's going to fit in. But in essence, we thought that, and we do believe that, with all the resources inside the Hard Money Mastermind, there's about 2,700 members, and a lot of them that we know, especially people we know personally, like through the inner circle, are lending private money daily and have more capital to deploy. It's very common in this business, once you've been doing it for a while, to have more capital than you have solid deals. Early on, that's not always the case, but we know that when there are people out there who are looking to get a deal funded, maybe even share a deal, maybe even sell off a private note, we're going to go into detail on this stuff, should have a good resource right inside the mastermind. That's what Submit for Funding is for.
Yeah. So let's be honest. If you're going to be a private lender or hard money lender, in essence, you need three things, and you got to take all three of these things very seriously. You need access to deals on a regular basis. You need access to capital on a regular basis, and you need to understand operations, back end servicing, loss mitigation, underwriting, things like that. There's a lot of folks that have one or two of those, but maybe not the third. And inside the mastermind group, there's lots of education and courses and resources related to running a hard money company, along with raising capital and finding deals and marketing for deals in particular. And in our opinion, if you have a good deal, and I mean like a really, really, really good deal, not just a deal, a good deal, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to get capital behind it. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to do a good deal or have a good opportunity and not be able to get funding. And that was exactly how we were able to raise capital out of necessity years ago in 2007, moving forward, when we went out and we raised capital, was because we were able to find good opportunities and good deals. So again, there's no reason if you have a good deal or a good opportunity, you shouldn't be able to find or get capital behind that. So there's a few different ways to break this down. There's options to potentially broker the loan or refer the loan to another lender in the group. That's always an option, right? Maybe it's a property that you have in another market. Maybe you're in Texas and you found a property in Florida and you don't lend in Florida. So you're just looking to refer it or broker it to another member of the group and maybe get a fee, maybe not get a fee, however you want to set it up. Maybe you have a broker agreement. Maybe you just want to refer a contact and they can, kick you back a referral fee, whatever works. That's an option. The other option is potentially to co-lend with another lender in the group. So we have an example of that. So let's just say you're doing a loan, it's $100,000 loan, and you have like $70,000, but you don't have the full $100,000 and you need like $30,000. Well, maybe you can, use Hard Money Bankers or another private lender in the group, and you do some sort of co-funding, co-lending agreement where you put up 70% of it and that other lender puts up 30% of it. And, you work it out that way. Obviously, there's additional details to go through. Who's going to service the loan? How is the flow of money going to go? But you get to that. You'll get the point. And the third way is, let's say you have outstanding loans in your books that you're just looking to sell to free up additional capital, right? Like we know lenders that buy existing debt. And a lot of times they're performing debt. When you hear about selling loans, it doesn't have to be unperforming. It can still be performing. And I'll show you, I'll share with you a good example. One particular lender, does loans. He funds them out of pocket for $100,000. And he's, in essence, service it. Let's say it's $100,000 note. I'm just using that as an example. And he services them. And then all of a sudden he's got more deals that come in. He's like, oh man, I need to recycle this money. I want to make points again on the front end. Maybe I can just find a note investor that will just buy this performing note. And maybe he'll service it for that person. Maybe the new person he just sells it to, they service it. Or maybe you assign a piece of the note, right? You have an existing note and you want to free up 50% of the capital from it and you sell off pieces of it. So again, the sky's the limit. We're using this kind of as a resource and a tool to help members in the Hard Money Mastermind group just kind of be creative, because if you truly do have good deals and good opportunities, there's just no reason that you shouldn't be able to get the capital behind them.
Yeah, 100%. Like this originally came to us related to the deal share part. Well, maybe the brokering part too, but in like informal conversations with some inner circle members and other mastermind folks, like we've said, like it wasn't a formal program or anything, but we've said like, hey, if you have a big deal that you're not sure you have the capital for, you have a $500K deal and you want to split it with somebody, for example, and it's a really solid loan, like hit us up, hit up HMB. We will do that with you in your market. We'll underwrite it together. We'll figure out servicing, stuff like that. And that deal should not be passed on. We shouldn't let it go. There's no reason to let someone outside the mastermind get that when we have so many resources inside of it. So that's kind of one of the initial thoughts. And some of the feedback from when I did an email broadcast to our list a couple days ago, and I've gotten some really good feedback from people about this launch in general, and more specifically from a couple lenders who were saying what Jason said, that last example of, look, I could free up some capital to fund new deals if I can sell off some of these notes, right? And good stuff, 12 and a half, 12.99, normal going rate for private money. Sell off a couple notes, free up a few $100,000, and I'll use that to close more deals this month. Totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. There's money around for deals like that. So yeah, I mean, like you said, sky's the limit. Like use your creativity, check out the submit for funding page. It's a pretty short application to get the deal moving. We'll obviously follow up with you right away inside the mastermind group and see what we have, see what we can get worked out. But it's going to be really interesting to see where this goes. And based on everyone's feedback just in the past couple of days since launch, I think it could be a good add-on to everyone's lending business.
Yeah. So 2 big disclosures. Disclosure 1 is obviously do this kind of at your own risk with folks that you communicate with. Obviously we're happy to take a look at any deals that you have that you might need funding for, but it might be other lenders or other people in the group. So just, people aren't, pre-vetted. So make sure you vet them properly. That's disclosure 1. Disclosure 2 is the easiest way to ruin your credibility that you've worked so hard for is to try to throw crappy deals, push crappy deals down people's throats, especially capital investors, right? If we, did bad deals or we pushed bad deals out to capital investors early on in our business, we wouldn't have been here. You have to do good deals. So like, for instance, like a good deal is opinion based, and I certainly understand that. But like, if someone, says, hey, I'm looking for 100% financing on this undeveloped piece of land, blah, 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 blah. Like nobody's probably interested in that currently. And I'm not saying like there's no capital available for that, but like, I think for this particular purpose, like we're talking about good deals, like really, really good deals. Because good deals, like we started with, should always get funding, and they always have gotten funding. So make sure it's a good opportunity. We're talking, in this space, if it's fix and flip invest and dealing with investors and fix and flip or small balance commercial properties. I mean, these are loans where, the borrowers have the capacity to do them. They have, significant down payments. They're buying them at a good price. They've got good credit. They have real cash. Like these are real deals, or commercial buildings at low LTVs, things like that. Like I'm talking about deals that like, you'll put your last $100,000 or your, mother's last $100,000 into a deal. This isn't like, hey, let me just, throw a crappy deal out there and let's see if someone's interested. Like it's got to be a really, really good deal for you first before you're going to want to take that to the streets. Because here, you do it once and you lose all credibility. And then next time, you submit your next deal, no one's going to reach out to you or no one wants to be interested in it. It works like that all the time with things. So it's important to just make sure, they're good opportunities. And again, different lenders and different private lenders like different things. A lot of them are localized. Some of them like low loan amounts. Some of them like high loan amounts. There's a different range. Some don't care about credit. Some like high credit. So there's a lot of different ways. So again, like Chris started this episode with, this is something that we're testing. but we do think that there's a kind of a demand for it. Again, we've talked to a lot of inner circle members and a lot of other folks in the Hard Money Mastermind, and this is just an additional resource to help. Any other resources that you think would be beneficial for you inside the Hard Money Mastermind group, just comment inside the Hard Money Mastermind group and ask for it. Right? We're active in there regularly. You've probably heard us joke that we talk about hard money lending and private money lending every day in our office together. So we might as well just hop on camera or hop on a platform and share our experiences of like what we see out there every day.
Yeah. One other thing to add on, because that was some good advice on, how to vet deals and everything else. And another one related to that is make sure that you can answer any question related to the deal if it's being submitted. And you're going to be talking to us or another private lender within the group, and they're going to have the right questions. They're going to ask the right questions. So it's important that you're able to answer them and that you know the deal inside and out before submitting for funding. But yeah, excited to see where it all goes. Definitely go check it out at hardmoneymastermind.com. And we hope to do deals with you soon. We'll see you next time here on the Private Lenders Podcast.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Private Lenders Podcast. Please note that the opinions stated by all the speakers on this show are only opinions and not intended for legal, financial, or accounting advice. Please make sure to always check with your own legal, accounting, and financial professionals. If you enjoyed this episode of the Private Lenders Podcast, we'd appreciate it if you would spread the word. Make sure to check out hardmoneymastermind.com, the #1 free community for new and experienced private and hard money lenders.